So we can start. Hello everyone. Today you will see a webinar that takes place every single week on Thursdays or on Fridays. And today we bring up the topic which is called HR Tech and Blockchain, and particularly is HR ready for blockchain technology? So this is a structure for our webinar. We're going to have some welcome session. Then we go to voting and come up with actual status of the topic. I want to have you into this theme, into this blockchain and HR tech cooperation, and tell you more about how we see this topic and why do we believe and why I believe it is important for everybody. Of course, before that I will mention and will say some information about myself, about my background. Then we're going to have a presentation about blockchain, and I have got some interesting themes and interesting cases related to HR technology point of view. Then we will have a discussion and brainstorm in case you have any extra questions or your suggestions for the topic. And at the very end, we will have some follow-up. And of course, as you can see on the left side of this presentation, our logo A worker. For sure, I will tell you some things, some extra topics. Why do we choose this blockchain HR to bring to your attention today? So, to begin with, please welcome. This is me. My name is Mike, and I'm an HR partner and co-founder of A Worker. I'm a big believer in technologies, and I really support HR modification. And for the last couple of years, I was so deep into this HR modification in terms of different themes. And I always was trying to improve the HR industry, recruitment itself, and many other parts of this area of business, and try to make it more efficient, easier, more interesting, more engaging for everyone from a job seekers and the company perspectives as well. I'm no stranger to talent selection, having spent more than 8 years in HR, where I successfully completed different projects. Prior to joining A Worker, worked for a diverse range of companies, including Michael Page, when I first started my career as a consultant, and I've been working with financial roles, hiring financial directors, internal controllers, financial controllers, and many other similar jobs. Then I passed through such companies as Grupo Cartefel, being an HR director for Pasolini Company, HR partner for Tom Taylor, and moreover, an international cosmetics giant, a L'Oreal Group, when I've been for more than 3 years doing talent acquisition, people engagement, and many other topics related to personnel. So, my varied background in executive talent acquisition and senior HR roles provided me the perfect foundation for being on the part of the customer. I'm so passionate about the industry modification and its possibilities. I provide best services that can help companies and applicants to make better use of new generation technologies. Also, during a successful career in HR, I now advise other people how to achieve the same success and coach them. So, this is a short debrief on my background. If you need any more explanation on my projects, on my successful stories, I would definitely and will be pleased to tell you more. But not to spend many time on it, I will go further. So, this is my profile on LinkedIn, by the way. You can sign up and you can follow my profile. Just let me know anything that is interesting for you. As you can see on the bottom is a worker wallpaper. Then you can see my current job, my current role, which is co-founder and partner for a worker. I've got many contacts and I'm trying to improve my social impact and give it to other people. And of course, as I'm doing entrepreneurship since 2017, also a co-founder of decentralized blockchain-based platform called A Worker. So not to stay no more at this point, let's jump to the topic and to the actual status of the theme that I've chosen for you today. Let's bring some statements. First is the following. Recruiters look forward to receiving faster, more efficient way to verify the credentials of job candidates, a system that could save precious time in confirming education, certifications, work experience, or skills of applicants. So this is the first point. The second point is payroll managers would undoubtedly welcome a new technology that makes international payroll less complex and costly, allowing for more timely and efficient cross-border payments to global employees. I do believe that these 2 points are really important to bring to your attention because this is a new way how we can achieve a result in doing recruitment, in doing payroll operations, and doing HR itself. And let's come to the main topic, and I grabbed some interesting things for you and let me share it with you. So, the first thing is you can see from this chart is that an interest over the last 5 years is rapidly growing when trying to search for a term blockchain. And no, there is no surprise for everybody because you can, I bet you hear and meet this term many times during your regular work, during some meetups or during some conferences. And you know what? The more conferences, the more events I'm attending as HR, the more often I hear this word and I'm realizing that it becomes a trend, a real trend, in terms of many different usages. Not only for recruitment or not only for HR payroll, but for the many areas of our human resources lives. And the key points, and to just begin my presentation, let me tell you the following. Blockchain is a way to store personal information about candidates or employees in a secure, confidential manner and make it available to anyone with a permission from those individuals. Such a system could automate and speed the process of verifying job candidates' credentials, saving recruiters from having to contact multiple sources to confirm historical information, could reduce resume fraud, and could improve time to hire. Blockchain also could one day transform global payroll by cutting out the banks, the middlemen that add time and costs to the process. So, what is a blockchain? Let's put it on the table and try to understand how does it work. Blockchain is a decentralized ledger of all transactions across a peer-to-peer network. Using this technology, participants can confirm transactions without a need for a central certifying authority. So, let's look at this slide. On the left, you can see the very beginning of the process. For example, I need to put some information and get it verified with the community. And let's imagine someone requests a transaction. Then, the requested transaction is broadcasted to a peer-to-peer network consisting of computers known as nodes. So, it could be different users, it could be different companies, it could be different members of this network that could see your transaction and could validate and verify the transaction that is uploaded to the system, to the blockchain. On the next step, the network validates the transaction and the user status using known algorithms. For example, I uploaded my diploma or a certification that I'm graduated from some university. I uploaded also a digital certification that allows me to say that I really graduated from this university. Once it's verified, once everyone on this chain, on this network, verifies my data, the transaction is combined with other transactions to create a new block of data for the ledger. So, it becomes a part of data ledger and the block of data is created. Then the new blocks is then added to the existing blockchain in a way that is permanent or and alternable. So this data is put into this chain, and in case I want to change anything, I need to ask for a network, for peers, for nodes to validate some changes, some alternative changes that I want to bring to users, to members. So it means that I can't change anything unless it is verified by everybody. And after that, the transaction is complete. So the very simple way of confirming information. I request a transaction, it is validated and verified, and the transaction is complete. And it could be anything. If we are saying about recruiters, if we are saying about payroll managers, blockchain has a real power of helping recruiters verify candidate credentials in a highly secure way and reducing chances of credentials being altered or faked. Potential applications. Distributed cloud storage. Current cloud storage services are centralized. Thus, the users must place trust in a single storage provider. With a blockchain, this can become decentralized, improving security and decreasing dependency on a single provider. Smart contracts, and I will tell you an example of the usage for smart contracts. These are legally binding, programmable, digitalized contracts. If two people want to exchange, let's say $100, at a specific time in future, when a set of preconditions are met, the conditions, payout, and parties details would be programmed into a smart contract. So, literally and basically, this is a regular contract, but which is put on the digital way. Once the defined conditions are met, for example, job is done, and I'm as an employer realizing that the freelance job is filled and freelancer by the agreement with me has finished his job. After that, I could send the appropriate party as per terms. So I mean this $100 will be distributed and will be allocated by the confirmation from two sides. And also potential application could be related to elections. So elections require authentication of voters, identify secure record keeping to track votes, and trusted tools to determine the winner. Blockchain can serve as a medium for casting, tracking, and counting votes, so that there is never a question of voter fraud, lost records, or foul play. I mean, just it is verified, transparent, and everybody can see how it works. Let's jump to the next question, payroll applications, and come across through different topics. Uh, at the moment, more than 40 top financial institutions and growing number of companies across industries are already using blockchain, according to the last news from the Wall Street Journal. And companies like Microsoft and IBM have made a huge investments into the technology. Organizations are using blockchain for financial transactions, for supply chain management, to create smart legal contracts, and of course, many examples of companies that are also using a blockchain. And I will tell you a little bit later more about this. To put it simplified, if blockchain is a database without a single point of control, smart contracts is an application programming interface controlling the modification of the data. I will give you an example. So, some futurist employee accesses the internal web with browser to report an open source contribution. The user is authenticated with company account while doing so. Then, the user keys in the relevant information, a title of a public URL to identify the contribution, time spent in hours and minutes. I mean, if any of jobs and any of work is done, I can see the real time spent for doing this. And also a description of the contribution not stored in the blockchain. The entered information, together with an encrypted user identifier, but since the contribution description, gets stored in the Ethereum blockchain. The same information, now complete with the description, is also sent to a company instant messaging channel. At the end of each month, an application is run on the blockchain to calculate and return the bonus for each employee who has reported contributions. And at the final, this refined payroll information is forwarded to the people and systems who make our salaries happen. This is a short and a smart example of how blockchain can be used for payroll applications and for the payroll managers as well. And I will tell you more that as a practical matter, blockchain for payroll is not that difficult. Money today can be moved around the world instantly to wallets for reasonable costs. That's holding up use are the many statutory requirements and legal entities that govern how pay can be delivered, what currencies it can happen, and related regulatory issues. So, to summarize and to give you an idea of summary potential HR uses, let's come across through the most important and most valuable areas of potential usages. First is verification. Blockchain can be used to verify individuals' identities, qualifications, credentials, and experiences during the recruitment process. According to research by one company, 51% of early adopters of blockchain currently use it to verify digital identities. Second, referencing. Blockchain could make the traditional process of referencing redundant. Once someone has done a degree, they will just put their certificate in blockchain and it never needs to be verified again. Third, identify potential candidates. Blockchain will also allow those in HR and recruitment to more accurately identify potential candidates, as well as the particular roles they are best suited for. At the moment, it's quite complex to match up talent with where it needed to be in an organization, and even more so do it in a verified way. Time might be not a luxury you have because speed of delivery might be the only thing that gives you a competitive advantage. If that's the case, then being able to use blockchain to really understand the power of your workforce could come into this own. Fourth, underpin work contracts. The technology can be used to underpin work contracts using so-called smart contracts, as I've been mentioning before. Why would you have bits of paper and manual delivery of contracts where it requires a human being to decide if that contract has been fulfilled or not? You could make contracts programmatic, so there are certain actions based on whether certain conditions have been fulfilled, so you might pay your employees bonuses based on the operation of smart contract. This could prove to be the most revolutionary area, many experts believe, an ability to switch on and off a contract with any individual employer and to be able to define upfront the terms you are working with might be quite appealing to people, but also to employers, because they are not having to bring them into payroll systems and go through protected procurement processes. It makes our life and makes life of human resources easier. Employee life cycle, the next point. The potential for disruption extends to the recording of all employee information. Before you even get a job offer, you have to go through a series of interviews and some forms of qualification and validation process. You then get onboarded and there may be additional tasks you need to complete, whether it's training records or compliance questionnaires, and that information would be collated. That whole process and data requires many different parties to interact, and this is all carries on until eventually you exit, when there might be a handover and the whole process has to renew. Blockchain could radically simplify the experience that HR functions have today. And the final, payroll. Blockchain could also be used in payroll. That's probably a bit further down the line, but there are examples already built on the premise that the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market is stable enough to run payroll on it. In the longer term, if those markets stabilize, I would imagine we would see more blockchain-enabled payroll technology. So, let's come with an usability of a worker. And what is it? And I will tell you some cases how it can be usable for everyone. A worker is a next generation blockchain-based platform which aims to both disrupt and change the human resources industry forever by creating new opportunities. By harnessing the power of smart contracts, finding your dream job becomes easier than ever, while companies can simply and efficiently find and hire the correct candidates. With a worker, job seekers can keep their resume in the blockchain and prove their qualification instantaneously. Thanks to decentralized assessment and verification, one's reputation and market value are updated in real time, and everyone involved in the key stages of hiring is rewarded. This in turn affords companies the ability to minimize their expenses, saving upwards of for the costs of hiring individuals as a traditional way. This is a sort of examples where you can find an information about our company and information about our high technology articles and posts related to HR and related to blockchain as well. A worker gives you an opportunity to recommend friends and earn word tokens. So recommend a friend for an open job and earn word tokens if he came for an interview or got a job. Next, confirm your skills and earn word tokens. Confirm your professional ability by attaching a supporting documents and earn word tokens. It could be anything. It could be a certificate, a digital sign, some competences verification and improvements that you passed, for example, for the last couple of years. And then when community verifies your data, you earn tokens. Come to an interview or get an offer and earn word tokens as well. Get a job or come for an interview and work and earn word tokens. So, in case you are hired, the people that reference in you is rewarded with tokens as well as you are also rewarded with tokens, and it enables a new way of hiring. Because as a recruitment manager, I have to spend so many time by looking for candidates, by asking for a different job boards or marketplaces where I can find the people. Otherwise, I can ask for a recommendation and send it to my network when network works for my needs. I mean, when a recruiter asks for a recommendation, this recommendation comes from authorized network that allows to see the verified data for a candidate. So I don't need to interview 50 employees or job seekers. I need to interview only those who are recommended. And the motivation for those people are also about the earning of word tokens. But to tell you more, by giving these references, these people also building up its own reputation. And also advance your expertise and earn word tokens. Developing as a professional and showing courses that you have passed, events that you have visited, you are proving your knowledge and get word tokens. So in the very end, you show up to the employer with your professional profile or professional ID, how we call it. So it means that you're not spending so many time by trying to convince or trying to show to your potential company that you are a professional, that you have passed so many different courses or seminars or events. You just put all information into a blockchain and come to the interview with your professional profile. And even that, you can be referred by anyone from the community who are trusted, who is validated by companies, and who acts as a referral person, for example. So, in essence, word tokens incentivize the acts of verifying your skills. Just to summarize, incentivize the acts of verifying your skills, recommending past colleagues, and putting yourself out there, which has, until a worker, gone unrewarded. We also have an MVP that does work at the moment, An alpha version of the product is ready. So it already exists personal accounts, recommendation of acquaintances for open positions, and you can also add your skills, add your background, and fill all the information that is needed. So basically, from an employer standpoint, you can see a list of field resumes or profiles, as we call it, with verified information, with all background special, uh, with all background special details that could be interesting for you in terms of getting this person for let's say a first stage of interview. From an employee's standpoint, you can see all jobs that are posted within a worker, and you can find by the link that you can see on the bottom. We already partnered with a wide range of companies, and the amount of listed jobs increasing rapidly. Every single week we publish new jobs. You can check and you can see all of them at the platform. I offer you to sign up for the platform and get your free access to post at least 5 jobs to estimate all futures of high technological way of hiring. I can help you out with putting these jobs onto the platform. Once again, it's absolutely for free. This is a chance to check it out and try a new way of hiring, because the power of references is underestimated. And moreover, references are becoming more and more popular in this networking, community, and digital world. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. Once again, please follow the link that you can see at this slide, https app.aworker.io. Please follow my contacts. Please ask me any questions, and I will give you an access to the platform with posting of 5 free jobs. Let's talk about and let's discuss and brainstorm about the topic. If you have any questions, I can ask all of them. In case if not, we can do the follow-up and realize and understand if you're interested in the topic and what we can also do with this. That's pretty it. You can see my contacts details. This is my email, m.barkov@aworker.io, my mobile phone, and the Telegram channel where you can send me a direct message, and I will always help you out with anything related to a worker. Also, you can ask me how to sign up for the platform, and I will give you a free access to post 5 jobs in case of any industry, in terms of any roles. It could be, well, my suggestion to post, of course, the most complicated and the most hard jobs that you have to fill in.